Welcome back to the channel. So this is the iX, the 2022 xDrive50 model. This is an executive demo for our store. It is in Phytonic Blue, and it's really good blue. Let's talk about the iX in general. So this is a dual motor electric vehicle, let's call it that. So, range varies between 305 and 325 miles depending on which wheel sets you get. So, max range is 325 miles with the 20-inch wheels, which are standard. If you opt for the 21, your range drops to 305, and you opt for 22s, the range actually improves off the 21s to 315 miles. But pretty powerful as well, 516 horsepower, as well as 564 torques, so it's quite a potent vehicle. This one is the Sport model, and you can tell that based upon the intakes there in black, and around back the tail lights are in white, so I'll show you that in a moment. That's basically how you're going to distinguish sport versus non-sport models. Got our distinctive kidney grills as well. So up close you can see sort of heating elements here to keep this thing nice and clean in the winter. But behind that is all your sensors. We've also got a camera for the parking assistance as well. So our BMW logo / emblem, standard emblems with a blue outline for the electric vehicles that I think used to be there at the beginning and then disappeared and came back for 2021 model years. We've got our standard lights as well, not the laser lights, which are an option. And please excuse the Comfort Access 2.0 here. The GM has it set up for proximity, lock-in, unlocking. Over on the side, we've got our style, I believe these are 1012s. These are Aero style wheels, 21-inch wheels. You can see the brakes are blue calipers. They are not M Sport calipers. They look exactly like M Sport, just not labeled as M Sport. So we've also got titanium bronze trim on the outside, which is an option. I think it works really well with Aventurin Red. I think it works fairly well with the Phytonic Blue. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. We've got our door handles, which aren't really any handles whatsoever. So basically, inside here is just a mechanism to unlock. This does not lift like it does on the 2 Series or the i4. Your locking mechanism for Comfort Access 1.0, which is the touch rather than what we got is proximity sensors. Out back, we got our iX logos in titanium bronze, what they call it. So the tail lights, while smoked out, are also white. You can see as I get close and unlock it. And there's a little startup sequence. But these are in white for the Sport model. As soon as the animation disappears, you'll see that again. Taking an annoying amount of time. I think it's because the lights are actually on right now. So let me go ahead. There we go. It's off now. So that's how you distinguish from the rear the Sport model. We got our Phytonic Blue, sort of out of direct sunlight. It's pretty good blue. Not as dynamic or purple as, say, Marina Bay Blue or Portimao Blue. All right, so let's take a look at the inside. I don't have the Monroney sticker, so I have to go by from what I've remember for this build. So on the interior, we got our stone gray microfiber and wool combination seats. So we can see it looks like we might have the luxury package, if I'm not mistaken. Sort of crystal displays here for the controls, which are new for me to do up here on the door rather than on the seat itself. New for the iX, door release button here, so there's no handle. There's also a manual override in case you get stuck. Our hexagonal steering wheel. And here are the seats. Comfortable, although not as bolstered as an M Sport seat. They're quite comfortable seats to sit in. I wouldn't say they're exactly supportive as well. All right, so notice noted in previous videos of the iX, this little hamburger menu below here indicates there's a menu in the iDrive screen. So you press that button, you'll have options that pop up in the central display unit. All right, interior-wise, we have iDrive 8. Over here, your battery indicator and your range over to the right. So you have different setups you can use. Steering wheel will take a little bit of time to get used to, but I think it's actually a pretty good shape for the wheel, giving you good support around. And it actually feels pretty comfortable. So here's the iDrive 8 screen, which we've been over a few times. Not going to go into great detail. So basically, it's improved widescreen plus touchscreen ability, as well as voice control. So it's what the future for BMW holds. So eventually, all the BMWs will have an iDrive 8 version, and then going forward, whatever else happens after that. So your main screen here, all your tiles, so these all can be modifiable. And it's a different layout from iDrive 7. So you go here, you got all your sort of apps, which used to be broken up, I believe, in the car menu. So it's all sort of broken out in different little things here. And you can save these to a hotkey. So you press and hold that, you'll get the hotkey. So there's no more physical buttons, but they'll all be saved up here. So you have basically an unlimited amount of hotkeys you can get to. Pretty easy to use. Again, you're just going to have to learn how to use them. Of course, your climate control are always present on the bottom part of the screen. You want to go in, you can have other settings here in terms of where the air is blowing, heated seats, etc. All at the touch of a, I'd say a button, but touch of the screen. So we got our wood console area here, and our crystal display, crystal iDrive controller, our start-stop button up here, and then our gear selector, which is what you're going to see in a few of the cars coming out for a 23 model year. My modes, those are your driving modes, which would be, say, Sport, Eco, Pro, etc. And there's been some updates over the air. So at the start, you had Personal, Sport, and Efficient. You now have Expressive and Relax. Now, Expressive is really interesting. So it's a lot more immersive, sort of like a 4D effect when you're on throttle. You'll hear a very loud sound. Plus, their speakers in the seats are going to be going as well. So it's a pretty intensive 4D experience going into that mode. It's actually pretty cool, at least at first. I don't know how long it would be good for in terms of overall feel, how annoying it could be. There's that potential. But lots of nice details here, a very minimalist interior. So it's sort of a new design language for the interior. It makes you feel real comfortable. It is quite spacious as well. We can go up the top. We can take a look at the now moon roof here, and you can control the opaqueness of it at the push of a button like you can on the 787 Dreamliner. So you have, it's like less opaque and more opaque. So letting in as much sort of light as you'd like, but very comfortable on the inside. This we should also talk about charging times. So level 2 is recommended. That'll get you 0 to 100% in about 11 hours or so. Now, with the purchase or lease of a new electric vehicle, you do have access to Electrify America. So you have 2 years of free charging, 30-minute sessions, unlimited throughout the day, but you do have a grace period or a wait period. So you have to wait 60 minutes between sessions. In about 35 minutes or 40 minutes or so, you're going to get a significant charge. It's from, I think it's 10% to 70% or so about that time. So in the back, you have an insane amount of legroom. So lengthwise, it's about the same size as the X5. If you go in the X5, you're not going to have as much legroom here because the wheelbase is expanded. And that's what's giving you lots of legroom. And of course, headroom as well, which is an amazing feature in the iX. Is completely luxurious, spacious. It's the car to have for a family, I think, really. We do have 4-zone climate control, 2 zones in the back as well. Pretty good venting in the back too, getting you here, pointing at your basically chest area, as well as down below. You have elements down there to get you some airflow. but there's not really a lot to complain about in the back seat of this car. It is amazingly spacious. Oh, I think I might have just locked myself out with the child locks. Ah! So that's funny. Alright, so comedy's sake, I've just locked myself in the rear of the car. I'm going to have to climb over into the driver's seat or passenger seat and get out of this car because I've locked myself inside. So always check the child lock settings to make sure. I think we can actually unlock it up here so I don't have to climb over anything. You can see the lock button mechanism is here. That should unlock the rear door for me. Yay! I didn't lock myself in. So, whew. All right, so mental note on that one. Make sure you have that figured out before you get in the backseat of a car and play around in it. All right, let's take a look at the trunk space. So the car does come with a flexible fast charger, allowing you to have access to level 2 charging at home. Again, highly recommended because level 1, 0 to 100, that's going to be 100 hours. It's not something you want to wait around for. So it does come with the adapters. You can see here the NEMA 1450 adapter for level 2. So make sure your garage or wherever else you're going to be parking the car is set up for level 2 240 volt charging. You have a little bit of extra space depending on the options here in the back. So this one's got the Harman Kardon sound system, which is standard. Also got the premium package, dynamic handling package, and sport package on this vehicle. I think that's about it. So starting price, the iX, at least for 2022, is around $83,000, I want to say. Still eligible for the tax credit up to $7,500. Now, when that disappears is just a matter of time, given how many vehicles BMW is selling. So that's a limited time offer. Don't know when it's going to expire. So keep that in mind when buying. Again, you're only getting that credit if you're buying. Leasing, that goes to BMW. So keep that in mind. If you'd rather lease the vehicle, you're not going to get those savings on your tax bill for the following year. This would be, well, same year, right? So you're filing next year for this year's taxes. All right, so that's about it for a relatively long-ish introduction to the iX. We've had a couple other iX videos on our channel, so take a look at those ones. We'll put a link in the description below if you want to get a little bit more information and some of the features on the iX, and we'll see you at the next video.